What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for joining me on another episode of Fake Newz. I'll be here every week. Every week, dog. Thursdays. Y'all make sure y'all tune in and check me out. This past weekend was one of my first weekends that I was actually off. I just enjoyed myself at my house in Austin. Oh, shout out to Austin, Texas. I'll actually be doing a show this Sunday in Austin when I get back from Boston. I'll be doing a show this Sunday at the Vulcan at 8. I will have my band with me. If y'all ain't never seen my live show with my band, I make up songs right on the spot. I bring people on stage, and I kind of give them a different experience than a regular comedy show. It's fun as hell, man. It's like my Sunday fun day. Make sure you pull up to that at the Vulcan at 8 o'clock. The ticket link should be on my story. I'll be posting it all week. Make sure you do that. Didn't have a show this weekend. I did spend some time this weekend with some good friends, Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, what's my other boy name? Gordon, the jiu-jitsu fighter. I spent some time with Gordon right before him and his girl went on a road trip to Montana, wherever the hell they went. He's the best jiu-jitsu fighter in the world. And it's so crazy, man. He makes so much money from jiu-jitsu and his tutorial videos. It's insane. Did that, rested, relaxed. Didn't do any fishing because it was extremely hot. I wish I would have did some fishing, but whatever. I did do a show Saturday because, man, I'm one of those guys. I can't go like 2 or 3 days without getting off stage. I'll lose my mind. I need to be on stage. So I hit up one of my friends, Adam Lucky. He runs a show at the Creek in the Cave on Saturday nights. It's called, I think, The Dirty Show, and it's very dirty. I went up there and did some new material. I had one female heckler. I wonder, we might add that. Oh, I cussed her out kind of bad. I might put that on my YouTube. It's like 60 seconds of me telling her why she was offended, and I told her, you're probably ugly. That's why you're offended, because pretty girls don't have opinions. That's just how life is. Ugly girls seem to be the most opinionated girls, and I told her that she was going to have to get drunk and put a vibrator on herself tonight because no man wanted to hear her talk. And that's pretty much the truth. That's the bottom line, because if a dude was banging you, right, what are you mad about? I've never been with a girl that is highly opinionated. You know why? Because I holds it down. I mean, when you do what's right in bed, your girl don't have no problem. If your girl complaining and stuff all the time, you know what you need to do. Men, you know what you need to do when your girl's complaining. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not rocket. Women, if your man's walking around miserable, give him more sex. Or give him somebody else. Why do single guys always seem the happiest? Because women seem to get in relationships and forget about their man, especially when they get kids. A lot of women have kids and forget about that man, and now it's all about the kid, but you got to find a healthy balance to where you still treating that man like a man and where you're still able to be a good mom, because when the kids go to bed, I needs that. When they at school, I needs that. Don't forget about me. That terrifies me, to get married one day and me and my beautiful wife have kids and she forgets who I am as a man. And now every night I go to bed and my Johnson is dry. That's not going to sit right in my spirit. It's just not going to sit right. Not saying I won't cheat. I mean, not saying I will cheat, but, you know, I use a lot of Pornhub or whatever else. Twitter actually has the best porn. For those of you who did not know, it's better than Pornhub, XNXX, and X videos. Twitter has the best porn. If you have not, they have homemade, they have everything for your nasty, perverted minds. Twitter, just type in what you want, and Twitter has it. What's that? Who just got an OnlyFans? What's that old lady name who just got an OnlyFans? B. So Rachel Dolezal just got an OnlyFans, and the one who said she was black and she was like over the NAACP or whatever, but she wasn't really black. She had like 5% black in her. A lot of people were disgusted, but look, I like cougars. I love older women because they tend to spend money on us, and they tend to be done with all the BS, and they tend to tell the truth, and they tend to tell you exactly what they want. That's why I love older women. And for me, that old body was right. she hit the gym because look, from the neck down, she got a body like some of these 30-year-olds. Like I've seen girls that are in their 20s and 30s that did not have bodies as good as this lady, however old she is. But she looked amazing. OnlyFans is the way to go, man. It's so crazy. I know a female comic, I'm not going to say her name, but I say she's done some things and she's struggling right now saying that she should make an OnlyFans. We had this conversation the other day and she's like, I'm thinking about doing an OnlyFans. And I'm like, do it. Man, we don't have the opportunity. Like I can't go on OnlyFans and pop my penis and get $30,000 a month, but she can go pop her booty and twerk and get 30, 40 bands a month. Like it's like women always holler about injustices, but look, if you can get naked online to make $1 million, that's amazing. You just closed the pay gap in men versus women right there from OnlyFans. Because the only guys I think that are making good money, like all the top earners on OnlyFans are women. I think the only guys that are making good money are like the famous ones like Tyga, Safari, and the white dude, Tommy Lee. Those are like the only ones making crazy money on OnlyFans. The rest of the guys probably out there making like $100. That's, I don't know. How long does OnlyFans last? It's just like stripping. Like I know a girl who made like $3 million on OnlyFans and has nothing to show for it because, I mean, the money comes so fast and you literally were just doing stuff that you enjoy, like posing and playing with yourself, and the money came too fast and you blew it. She has nothing to show for it now. I never, ever want to be in a position to have made $3 million and have zero to show for it. As a parent, I would feel like a shitty person. I'd be like, I haven't left it. Like, with $1 million alone, I can change my kid's life. Once I make $1 million, because they say the first million is the hardest to come by. Once I make $1 million, my kids are, whatever kids I have, I'll be on my 100 acres, 50 acres with horses and a catfish pond and another lake for my fishing pleasures and a shooting range, and it'll be out here in Texas somewhere, probably Kyle or Butte. I'll be out there sitting nice with 50, 60 acres, just chilling, waking up every morning when my kids go to school, walking around naked, and me and my wife doing whatever we want to do, just frying up some pork belly, letting the grease pop all on my stomach and on my balls as I walk around naked and just have fun. That, a lot of people don't desire that. Like, yes, I do want a place in the city, but I also want a place out in hill country where I can do what I want, shoot a gun, and nobody's going to call the cops. Like, I don't want neighbors for like a mile or a half a mile. That's ideal to me. And I just want somewhere I can wake up every morning, go fish for an hour or two, then start my day. Like, imagine how creative you would be if you just walk outside and see land. Like right now, I walk outside and see hella neighbors. I walk outside and see dogs. Not saying that I hate it, but just imagine how creative you'll be. You could just walk outside and see water and just chill there. It'll change your whole vibration. You'll be a totally different person if you can just walk outside and see. Like, that's why I go to Georgia quite often, because like that's my recharging time. I get to go to my mom's house and look in the backyard and see deer and turkey and nothing but land and trees for as far as you can see. Like, that's ideal. I go there for 2-3 days every so often and recharge the batteries, then come back to the city life and come back to the hustle and bustle. I think it's all about balance. Keep a place in the city, have a place in hill country. It's good for us. It's good for everybody. Let's see what's going on in the news. Let's see what's going on in the news. I'm loving it. Let's see what's going on in the news. So, as a comedian, I saw this video this week about the comedian under fire, fired by Carnival Cruises for using the N-word. We'll read the article and then I'll get into it. A white comedian is in hot water after being accused of using the N-word multiple times during his performance on a Carnival cruise. A woman who was a passenger on the ship posted a short clip on TikTok last week that's since gone viral, showing comedian Rob O'Reilly on stage, but the video by itself isn't what's upsetting. The on-screen caption reads, "So on Carnival Cruise right now, they are perfectly fine hiring someone who uses the N-word multiple times in his show. And when the issue was raised, he said, and I quote, 'If you're offended, get the fuck out.' And I get it. If you're offended, get out." He was met with mostly cheers when telling those offended to leave, but you can still hear some people in the crowd clearly still upset. Hey, what's up, guys? This your boy, David Lucas. I know y'all hate ads, but trust me, this is a product that I use at my house. It is Switch to America. We are going to take the money away from these big corporations and use American-made products. I use a lot of these things in my house. I use them on my hair. I use them to cook. I use them to clean, to wash my clothes, things like that. Everything is produced in America. You're shopping family direct at a family-owned store that's made in America. Over 500 non-toxic products produced from nature that we use every day. 100% satisfaction guaranteed, personal customer service, freedom-loving, family-owned American factory, supporting American families. Walmart prices, Amazon-style shipping, no hefty prices. You get to decide if you want to be a part of this movement. Together, we are cutting off the cash flow of the big organizations, trying to make it American again. You know, patriotic people, you get it. Each of us can choose to take market share away from these businesses that have enjoyed unfair advantages and instead choose to help regular people by shopping family-owned, made in America. This is not spam. Because I love you guys so much, I love my audience, I'm going to give you a personal phone number. Make sure you text 512-808-7677. Text David in your name, and one of my friends will contact you personally. If you really want to get set up with this, I highly suggest that if you have kids or if you're a busy person like me, these boxes just ship to your front door and blam, there it is. She didn't capture his alleged use of the slurs on camera, but she eventually posted an update clarifying they weren't allowed to record during O'Reilly's set, a common regulation at comedy clubs. Exactly. Nowadays, a lot of phones are in yonder bags, so if this would have happened at some of the clubs I perform at, there would have been no evidence of it. There would have just been hearsay. She was so offended, though, when he used the N-word casually during the performance, so she snagged the quick clip and called him out online. Carnival has responded to the incident, saying the company doesn't tolerate what went down, adding O'Reilly's been booted from all upcoming performances and is no longer welcome on Carnival cruise ships. Rob has quite the resume up to this point. He's appeared on The Last Comic Standing, America's Got Talent, and even was a correspondent for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. People online were applauding the TikToker for calling out O'Reilly. Some have even found old tweets of his, mostly ones that joke around about race. I don't know Rob O'Reilly, but I'll read some of his tweets. When I look at my fellow man, I don't think that guy's black or that guy's Puerto Rican. I think that guy's a felon. Okay. Another tweet, and that was in 2010. You read some of my tweets. Whew. 2013, for me, people are like ski slopes. I'm scared of the black ones. That's pretty funny. From 2011, did you know 1 in 15 black men has HIV? That's pretty insane statistic. Every NBA team probably has one dude with AIDS. That's funny. Today, every store acts like a crackhead broke in. Come at 4 a.m. and buy a TV half off. Guess that's why they call it Black Friday. He's pretty decent. I don't know Rob O'Reilly, but for the most part, I will say that a lot of comedians are fascinated with using taboo words. All comedians do it. We all want to skate that line of offensive to still, the line. It's a fine line to being offensive and not offensive, and that's the line that a lot of great comedians know how to skate right on without crossing over. I think I don't know the joke. I wish I heard the joke. If you want to know how to use the N-word correctly in a joke, I would go say, watch Louis C.K. do it. Living in L.A., I've seen numerous comedians that were not black use the N-word on stage, but it was more so for shock value, not that they were racist. I really don't think Rob O'Reilly is racist, and people may ask the question, well, how did he get on the cruise ship if he's known to use racist material? Because you sent in a clean video, and once you're on that cruise ship, you do what the hell you want to do. Like, I can send in a video right now that's, nighttime TV ready to be on whatever Conan. I don't know what late night TV shows are still on, but I can send in a tape right now. They'll be like, oh, this is good. This is not as racy and raunchy as he usually is, but that's the persuasion we have. We can send you a tape when we're doing anything. The times that we live in now, I don't even know how the Louis C.K. joke would I don't even know how people would react to that. It was a funny joke. It was a good joke. It was well thought of. If you're going to use the N-word, use that shit I'm not going to get offended. But I mean, because I'm not a person that's easily offended. I grew up in Georgia. We kind of grow up with a thicker skin, the South and other certain parts. I know there's a lot of, conservative regions all over America, even certain parts of Canada, but I grew up with a thicker skin. And, that wouldn't offend me. I would hear the joke and I'd say, bro, like if I'd have been on that cruise ship, I'd be like, bro, you're a dumbass, right? Like you're about to lose that job. And from what I hear, cruise lines pay pretty well, even though it sucks because you're stuck on this cruise ship and nobody really gets to know who you are. But from what I've heard, that's over a 6-figure income yearly for a lot of people that perform on cruise ships. Who knows what will happen? You remember the last time somebody got canceled, it blew them up. When SNL canceled Shane Gillis, he skyrocketed. He went to the top. So this could possibly happen with this comedian if his material is good. See, that's the thing with Shane. Shane has great material, so you really can't cancel someone who's a great comic. I don't know much about this guy. We will see. But yeah, man, especially for right now, if you're not black, I say the N-word a lot. And if you're not black, man, just leave that word alone, or just get more famous to where you can say it and be clever and be funny to the point to where black people are like, oh my God, he's stupid. When black people call you stupid, that's when you know you've made it. That's when you know you've made it. Everybody's favorite president is in the news. Senior Joe Biden. I'm still trying to find the people that voted for him, man. This guy doesn't know where he's at or who he is half of the time. He's just at dialysis or whatever chamber they put him in so that he's still human and still able to walk around. He's there most of the time and stuff happens, and it's almost like he woke up 2 years. Like it's like somebody put him to sleep and he woke up 2 years later. Every time he does a speech, it's like he's been in a coma for 2 years. He just wakes up and he's like, oh, we had COVID? Like, I had COVID? Oh, Trump was president? Every time he speaks, it's like, where have you been? So White House reporters don't buy Karen Jean-Pierre's spin on Biden's gaffe, asking for deceased congresswoman. Mainstream media reporters slam White House press secretary Karen Jean-Pierre for refusing to admit, she's Haitian, refusing to admit that President Joe Biden was mistakenly looking for a deceased lawmaker during his latest public appearance. I can't believe they still allow him to speak. While thanking people during his speech at the White House Conference on Hunger, Nutrition, and Health, Biden looked out into the crowd and asked about the whereabouts of Representative Jackie Walorski.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
She's a Republican House representative. She died in a car crash along with 2 staffers in August. Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here, he said, to the shock of everyone watching. Like, can you imagine if you there and he's asking for this lady that died last month? Like, what? That's what I'm saying. Stuff just happens and he don't know. wherever he's at, whatever dimension Biden live in. Biden, as soon as he's not president anymore, needs to get on somebody's podcast without one of his helpers, so that we need to hear his cognitive strength. I want to hear him in a room by himself, no help, just him and somebody. No, Rogan would be too much for Biden. Biden would pass over if he were interviewed by Rogan. Just someone else. I'd like him to come to kill Tony. We'll see. At the press briefing, reporters asked Jean-Pierre about the unusual moment and if Biden had mistakenly thought the Congresswoman was still alive. She denied that Biden was looking for her out in the crowd and claimed he was speaking of the late Congresswoman because she was on his mind. CNN senior White House correspondent Phil Mattingly sparred with Jean-Pierre over the gaffe. I'm trying to get my head around the response. The late Congresswoman was top of mind for the president, and her family was expected to be here, and that's what he was thinking about. Why was he looking for her, he asked. Jean-Pierre refused to admit it was a mistake on Biden's part. She insisted, I think the American people who watch the briefing from time to time, maybe at this moment will understand when someone is at top of mind. CBS News Radio White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy, I cannot talk today, asked the press secretary to explain Biden's mistake, asking, can you explain where the mistake was made? Was the president confused? Was something written in the teleprompter that he didn't recognize? Can you just help us understand what's happening?
Event today, the president appeared to look around the room for an audience member, a member of Congress who passed away last month. He seemed to indicate she might be in the room.
The president was, as you all know, you guys were watching today's event, a very important event on food insecurity. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue and was acknowledging her incredible work. He had already planned to welcome the Congresswoman's family to the White House on Friday. There will be a bill signing in her honor this coming Friday. So, of course, she was on his mind. She was of top of mind for the president. He very much looks forward to discussing her remarkable legacy.
Fellow reporters bashed Jean-Pierre's excuse on Twitter following the exchanges. Huffington Post White House correspondent SV Date tweeted about the incident from inside the White House press briefing room, writing press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre trying and failing to explain how Biden wondered aloud whether a congresswoman who died last month was in the audience today at his event. The White House won't concede that Biden misspoke when he asked if the recently deceased Representative Walorski was in attendance today, MSNBC contributor Sam Stein tweeted. The White House won't concede that Biden misspoke when he asked if the recently deceased Representative Walorski was in attendance today. I don't like that White House correspondent. And if y'all remember Trump's White House correspondence, that lady, I can't remember her name, but she was sharp. And Miss Jean-Pierre, I don't know how I feel about her. They're always punking her anytime they ask about gas prices or anything else or any other more important matters in America. She's just as oblivious as Biden is. Yeah, they held a whole White House, briefing about what Biden said, and just like Justin Boragana said, you know how the press secretary could have avoided this shit show? She could have just started the briefing by saying Biden misspoke and moved on. Instead, she's trying to dodge these questions while defending Biden and not conceding anything. At the end of Biden's presidency, I wouldn't be surprised if Ashton Kutcher came out and he's like, you've all been punked. And I'm like, I knew it. There is no way. There is no way this man was our president for 4 years. We have been punked. We have definitely been punked. And anybody who voted for Biden, you can't logically explain to me as how you think he's doing a good job right now, or if you think he's cognitively sharp enough to even be president. I think they're going to continue to let him mess up, and he's going to mess up real big. And I mean, this is just me floating out conspiracies here. I think they're going to continue to let him mess up big, and they're just going to usher old girl in, Kamala, however you say her name, Kamala Harris. I think they're just trying to usher her in to have her be president. I just feel that in some type of way. I just feel that. I just feel that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're like, yeah, let him continue to make mistakes. We really wanted Kamala Harris as the president, but let him continue to F up in front of America, and we bring Miss Jean Pierre, who takes all the heat, and make herself look even stupider by trying to convince us that he didn't say what he said or he didn't mean what he meant. And then we'll turn it all around on Biden, and then we'll just bring Kamala Harris in by saying he's not mentally fit to be president anymore. And boom. We'll see what happens if she become president. Every black man going to jail for child support, anything. You sag your pants, jail. You got locks, jail. You got neck tattoos, jail. She's jail. Speeding, jail. Every black man gonna be locked up in America if Kamala Harris become president. Jail. Oh, you like fried chicken, nigga? Jail. Go to jail. You got heartburn? Go to jail. See if that'll help a little bit. Take 2-3 days in that cell. See if that get rid of your heartburn. Yeah, man. Kamala Harris gonna put everybody in jail. And your favorite. It's hard not to talk about her when she. It just keeps happening, and newsworthy stuff just keep happening, and Lizzo just keeps showing up in my news feed. It's impossible for me not to talk about her. She was just oppressed not too long ago, and now she's playing James Madison's flute while twerking. They tried to make a mockery out of our country, and Lizzo, as a fellow fat person, don't let them use you. Stop letting them use you to make a fool of yourself, and you playing James Madison's flute. Why not just put George Washington's teeth in your mouth and go around biting people in the booty? Oh my God. A month ago, Lizzo claimed she was oppressed. On Tuesday night, she played James Madison's crystal flute before thousands as the nation goes to hell in a handbasket. For real. Bro, every country, even Kyiv is laughing at us after we sent them billions of dollars, and we got a Slimer from Ghostbuster on stage in blackface playing a flute. What's a Lizzo? Might be your first question. She is a larger-than-life pop star with an appetite for twerking, the Democratic Party, and apparently history. How can an oppressed person play a historic national treasure and be celebrated for it? Might be your second question. We'll answer that in a moment. Exactly. How are you oppressed? And you playing a flute from a white man, the people that oppressed us. James Madison. She might not even know who that is. I don't know. On Tuesday night, Lizzo surprised concert goers in one of Washington, D.C.'s most soulless neighborhoods, Navy Yard, with a surprise performance on the Founding Fathers flute lent to her by the Library of Congress. She added, "Bitch, I just twerked and played James Madison's flute from the 1800s. She hollered on stage, and she probably said period after. Y'all forgot that. She was probably, "Bitch, I just twerked on stage and played James Madison's flute from the 1800s. Period." Lizzo also added, "History is freaking cool." In all caps, the singer of American modern classics like About Damn Time and Girls tweeted, "Nobody has ever heard this famous crystal flute before. Now you have. I'm the first and only person to ever play this presidential 200-year-old crystal flute." What if they didn't clean it out and there's some like 200-year-old virus in there? I don't know. I don't even know if a virus can last that long. Let me watch this clip that's on Twitter. Oh my, look at that outfit.
So she played a 200-year-old flute at the Library of Congress and later also got to show it off on stage at one of her concerts.
All the LGBTQ people are in attendance, clapping their hands. All the vegans eating vegan ribs is down there applauding this. They down there applauding the hell out of this. All them LGBTQ skittle-haired mother lovers, don't oppressed and masculine toxicity and gas-lit women are down there cheering her on. As, oh my gosh, she has on a bodysuit looking like a 1980s wrestler. Jeez Louise, bro, this is making a mockery of our country. I can't believe I just watched that clip. The answer to your second question is that Lizzo is not oppressed. Duh. Obviously, she has more money than God and is loved by a large number of people. As for national treasures, many, like conservative strategist Greg Price, pointed out that the bureaucratic stewards of our country, mostly leftists, do not actually care about its history. Absolutely not. The Library of Congress really took out a 200-year-old flute that belonged to James Madison just so Lizzo could twerk with it, Price tweeted. They degrade our history and then call you racist if you actually value it. Yeah. What was the point of the flute? I really want to know whose call it was. Like, you know what Lizzo needs while she's twerking on stage is a crystal flute. She needs James Madison's flute. But if they put her on some shackles and had her come out there pulling a cart like the oxen that she is, then there'd be a problem. Lizzo, oh, here it is. It is true. Lizzo has called America institutionally racist. The left believes that sentiment is basically a litmus test for Democratic candidates seeking office. Very true. Lizzo was even euphoric after Biden was declared the winner of the presidential election in 2020. And this time I was hopeful and I was scared. I think Trump is out of office officially, Lizzo said in November 2020. I'm seeing the news everywhere. I think this is the end of that 4-year term that felt like 1,000 years where people lost their lives, their livelihoods. This country fell into a pandemic, a recession, and you can't really blame one president for things, but you can blame them for how they handle it. I don't know how 4 years felt like 1,000, whatever. Of course, under Biden, even more people have lost their lives from COVID as well as drug overdoses. Crime has skyrocketed in major American cities, LA, New York, Philly, you name it, San Francisco. People have lost their livelihoods and then some through inflation. The U.S. is currently in a recession with more pain on the horizon. Lizzo's criticism of Biden has been noticeably absent, or maybe nobody bothered to notice because who really cares what she says? But since the Library of Congress hoisted her into American history by giving her the flute, we now need to discuss it. Lizzo, like all Biden voters, seems blissfully unaware that Biden's America stinks on ice, to put it bluntly. Biden is equally oblivious that his foreign, economic, and energy policies are harming America. I don't know if Biden cares. I don't know if he has enough cognitive ability to care or even knows how to care just because of how aloof he is all the time. The entire world has been destabilized by the war in Ukraine and the resurgence of the Taliban. He denies that government spending contributes to inflation and says the answer to high prices is more government spending. His policies have actively discouraged fossil fuel production, and now Americans are facing a winter of actual pain as energy prices look set to skyrocket. It's so crazy because, as you know, California's Democratic ran and the governor banned or is trying to ban gas-powered cars in the next few years, and then they were having a heat wave, and he told people not to plug their electric cars in. It's so crazy to me. But yeah, Biden wasn't actually at Lizzo's concert on Tuesday night, but at the rate he tells tall tales, he'll likely claim by next month that he was on stage with her as she shook her derriere and showed off her flute skills. Lizzo says she is oppressed. Biden says America is doing great, and they're both delusional about the state of the country. They are a match made in heaven, these two. You ain't never lied. Maybe we should have Biden go on stage with Lizzo and have her twerk on Biden. That's what the world needs to see. Why not? We doing everything else. Just let Biden go on stage with Lizzo and let her bag that thing up on him. As Kamala Harris holds his back so he don't fall from all that, from that wide booty she got. Man, I don't, as a proud American, I don't like to see, like, they wouldn't do this in any other country. I don't feel like any other country would allow a musician, pop star, whatever she claims to be, celebrity. I don't think any other country would allow them to come on stage dressed like that and play a historic flute and twerk with it in their hands. Like, it almost makes you look soft or out of control, or like you need to tighten the reins. I don't know, bro. It's kind of crazy to me. How does everybody not have a problem with it? It's buffoonery. Absolute buffoonery. Absolutely buffoonery. I should, at the rate this is going, who knows what the hell is gonna happen. Wow. Would you be surprised if Lizzo ran for president? I wouldn't. Your next presidential candidate, Lizzo. All right, man. So let's get to a lot of you guys' favorite part of the podcast. It's Dear David, where I take questions from you guys. Don't forget, email me these questions at bookdavidlucas@gmail.com, and we will read them on air. bookdavidlucas@gmail.com. First one is Dominique, 24, from Mississippi. Relationship advice. What's up, David? I'm a longtime fan, and I know you are just the guy who can help me with this problem. So I love my girl. She is perfect, and our relationship is great, but she did something the other day that I just can't shake. I think it could be the end of our relationship. We joke around a lot, but this was just next level. So I'm playing NBA 2K, and while I'm on an online game, my girl walks up to me and asks me to check if she has a stain on her pants, on her butt. So while I look close to see the stain, she pulls my face in and rips a huge, deep, growling fart right in my face and is laughing hysterically. I was surprised by this, so it caused me to deeply inhale the fart. This was yesterday, and I can still smell the sulfur smell in my nose because it was so strong. She must have had a lot of protein and milk that day. I have never had something like this happen, and it has shook me to my core, and I wonder if I should move on. She says I'm tripping and should just get over it. What should I do? What's this guy's name? Dominic. It's good that you got a girlfriend you can play with. I don't know if I want my chick to play with me that way. That's kind of how me and my homeboys used to play back in high school. And I like to think of my woman as the soft person that she is, not a person who releases deadly gases into the atmosphere, and then I have to eventually inhale that. So, oh my God, bro, that's wild. Yeah, cheat on her, bro. Cheat on her just to get that smell out of your nose. I think you need to put some other vagina up in your nostrils, bro, to clean that sulfur out. And then when she asks, why did you cheat? Be like, I had to clear your smell out of my nose. I was tired of smelling that for 3 days. So I had to go stick my face in another woman's crotch. Because you want to be nasty, this is what now happens to you. And I don't see a problem with that. Like, I think you should always keep women on their toes, bro. Don't never let her get comfortable with you. You should come home smelling like vagina sometimes and let her wonder. And when she tries to question you, just go to sleep. What's she going to do, beat you so you can call the cops? No. Keep her on her toes, bro. She did that to you. Now it's time for you to do something to her. Do it, bro. Just I don't know, or come home musty one day and be like, babe, is that something under my arms? And then just put your musty armpit in her mouth, all in her mouth. You know what I'm saying? Deuce, you got to get her back, bro. I'm real big on get back. Like I like to get mine back. Thomas, 37, from New Jersey. What up, David? Thomas from New Jersey here. I saw you on Kill Tony this week saying you don't like Black Lives Matter. I cannot believe you would say something like that with the stakes as high as they are right now. We just got Trump out of office and thankfully got some adults in the room steering our country. Wah, wah. Not to mention the fact that so many irresponsible leaders are continuing to pretend we are not in the middle of a pandemic. My question is, how can you support a monster like Trump and stand against a great organization like Black Lives Matter that is truly for the people? I love your comedy, bro, but you need to do better. Your views are problematic, and I hope you reconsider and join our strong, diverse, and inclusive coalition and be a comrade. Wow. So, Thomas, I will never be a comrade of yours through Black Lives Matter. All you got to do is type in on Google Black Lives Matter scandals. I don't support, humans killing another human. But sometimes people have to be compliant when it comes to, police. If it, like, I hear a lot of people who share the same skin color as me always say cops be tripping, or cops like to kill N-words, or cops like to kill black people. Well, if you already know, and this is just me speaking, if you already know that cops like to kill black people, why resist arrest? Why not comply? Don't let pride or ego get you in a body bag. Don't allow it to. Like my mom always told me, your day to fight is not when that officer pulls you over. Your day to fight is when you go to that courtroom, man. I was just raised right, man. I was taught, when an officer pulls you over, turn your car off, turn the radio down, have your hands on the steering wheel, turn your interior lights off, turn your interior lights on. If that's what I have to do to go home to my kids, so be it, man. And in my experience as a black man getting pulled over by officers, I've always ran into the most problematic officers have always been black for me. I was handcuffed and put on the hood of a police car for an hour and a half as police searched my car in Los Angeles and found nothing. All because I made a left turn illegally. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just my experience, man. I give every cop that pulls me over respect because I understand. When they come to the car, they don't know who the hell I am. They don't know if I just killed somebody. They don't know if I just broke into somewhere and, took advantage of a woman or kidnapped some. They have no clue what is going on when they pull me over. So I get it. So my thing is when they come to my car, I'm going to make sure they can put their guard down. So that being said, that's something that needs to be taught across America, whether you're black or white or whatever color you are, is to, when you're being pulled over, that's not your time to argue and fight. Take the ticket and go to court. And I feel like a lot of black people could still be alive if they just would have complied with the police officers, and instead of when they're getting arrested, don't be like, "Why you arresting me, man? Why you arresting me, dog? No, you're a big dude. You're a big dude, man. You're a big dude. They might be terrified of us. They are possibly terrified of us. So it's like I'm not doing all that. I just can't support an organization who thrives and makes a lot of money off of black suffering. That's horrible to me. BLM makes money off of black death, and it's not when black people kill black people. It's only when a white police officer kills a black guy, but not when a white guy kills a black officer. So it's like I can't get behind that because it's a big contradiction. When do you care about black lives? When it's going to profit you the most. When you know everybody's going to be emotional and it's going to be a shit show with the media because they are going to blast this everywhere. So now BLM can come in and, stand behind the parents, smile, get a $2 million check from the community and not do anything. Mike Brown's dad, the dude who got killed by a cop several years back, dislikes Black Lives Matter. They made millions of dollars off of his son's death and didn't even put up the community center in his honor like they said they would. So no, I cannot join a diverse and inclusive coalition and be a comrade with you with an organization that has those morals. And then they have all these mansions. They're getting caught up in so many money laundering schemes, not paying taxes, taking lavish trips, taking private planes, when the parents of these people that are dying are still suffering financially and emotionally. So nah, I can't be a part of anything that's a contradiction like that. Sorry you feel like that. I mean, and that's your personal opinion, and it's my personal opinion, and it's how I view it. And if you don't want to listen to my comedy because of my political views or how I view things, don't. I'm not going to change, and I'm not going to become somebody else because you want me to. That's the long answer to that. Sorry for the long, lengthy answer. All right, we have one more. Tyrese, 26 in Minnesota. David, longtime fan. So recently my friends learned I have been hitting a very big girl. There we go. I am attracted to large women. The bigger the better. They are making fun of me and clowning me pretty hard, but I don't want them to figure it out. I am into feeding. I like feeding her icing, cake, bread, and tubs of butter while we're making love. It really turns me on, and she appreciates the tasty treats. I know this sounds crazy, but I just think these big bitches are so hot. You are the king of comeback, and I need your help reacting to my boys who are roasting me about my love for the very big girls. Hey, man. Love is love, big dog. Love is love, bro. If you into your big, beautiful, voluptuous queen, do that. Feed her. They going home every night, and they Johnson ain't getting sucked on, but yours is. And from my experience, big girls know what they doing down there. Continue to do yours, bro. You know, you get that hot. You get that hot pocket, bro. Don't come back. When they start making fun of you, be like, I'm about to go home right now and get some head. What y'all about to do? Play video games? Don't come back, bro. You don't need no comeback. You got a girl that's going to take care of you and look out for you, big dog. That's enough. All right, man. That's the end of Dear David. Thank y'all. Make sure you send those questions, relationship advice, life advice, into bookdavidlucas@gmail.com. I will answer them on the air. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fake Newz with your boy David Lucas. Appreciate y'all.